Beltran, and today in this video I'm going to talk about a really important photograph in the history of the United States. I consider that this picture is important because it represents the beginning of a new era for the black people in this country. Why a new era? Because it is when the civil rights from the black people start to have a respect from the government and from the most people in the United States. So let's start the biography and the reflection about this important picture. This is the picture where Rosa Parks is sitting on a seat on a bus with a white man behind her. Rosa Louise Parks was an integrant from the movement for the civil rights in the United States. She was born in 1813 in Tuskegee, Alabama. She passed away on 2005 in Detroit, Michigan. She was born in a family that had African, Native American, Scottish, and Irish offspring. She was educated as a teacher in the Alabama State Teachers College, just like her mother. She was married with Raymond Parks, and the marriage occurred at the time when in the United States were latent the segregation of people because of their race, especially those referred to as a black person or black people. Such segregation caused great inequality in the most of the United States because the black people did not have the same treatment, the same support, and the same economic and social status. And their human rights were regularly violated by white people, the police force, and even by the government. Why the government? Because various laws were implemented that further increased this inequality between black and white people. These laws has as the main objective to prevent white people from having any relationship or contact with black people. That is why they were not allowed to be in places that were especially reserved for white people. In this time, it was very dangerous for the black people to be walking around or walking down the street at midnight due to the aggressions that they received from the whites. And also, they had fewer opportunities. The incident of the bus began because a law that provides that whites and blacks could not sit together. At one point, parks were located in one of the places that belonged to the whites. As white citizens were boarded the bus and seeing that Rosa Parks were in their seats, the bus driver ordered her to relocate to the seats in which she could sit. This is where Parks refuses and is arrested for omission of law and authority. In a few words, this is where started the war from Rosa Parks to the government of the United States. Knowing the context and history of this photograph, I will give the interpretation and emotions that this image causes in me, being this a personal point of view. Initially, it is important to remember the level of inequality and racism that existed in this era in the United States due to the erroneous feeling of social, economic, political, and cultural superiority on the part of the majority of white people in this country towards black people. This image causes in me a feeling of equality and justice since to see Rosa Parks seated in a seat that she just chose without any restriction, and she is seated next to a man who in addition is white. For me, it means the beginning of the diminution of this problematic that suffered this country and the black community. On the other hand, Rosa Parks' decision not to give up her seat was the first aspect that triggered the American struggle and movement against discriminatory laws, creating the movement with the famous activist Martin Luther King, achieving that time later the Supreme Court of the United States declared that the racial segregation in public transport was against the Constitution of this country. The fact that the protagonist of this image and of this very historical fact is a woman helped to create an image of an empowered woman capable of achieving very good things and capable to contributing to her country in a very positive way. This aspect generated me pride and a great understanding for the cause. On the other hand, it is satisfying to see the expression of tranquility of both Rosa and the man sitting behind her. They are transmitting in this photograph a clear message, which is that racial segregation was decreasing more and more, and the feeling of equality was taking more importance in this country. Finally, talking about this type of events in the world is somewhat comforting since it offers hope in the face of the problems that are being experienced today around the world. And it shows us how through union, understanding, respect, and solidarity, many things can be changed in the world. This is where we end this video, and I really hope that you like it and enjoy it as much as I did. Thank you so much for your attention.